Have you ever noticed how a crack on a favorite cup coincides with an unexpected call from an old friend? Or how a lost key leads you to an encounter that changes everything? Today, we will unravel a mystery that has been silenced for centuries. Why does everything happen for a reason? Even your bad day today is not a mistake. It's a letter written by the universe in stardust ink. And the Buddhist Masters knew how to read it. Imagine, 2,500 years ago, the Buddha sat under a Bodhi tree and said, "Even the flight of a speck of dust in a ray of light is part of a great symphony." But what does that mean to you, to someone who's stuck in traffic, spilled coffee, or heard a rude word? The answer will change the way you think about every second of your life. And I'm not exaggerating. In this video are 3 keys, 3 ancient secrets that the monks of Tibet used to pass on in whispers for fear of being overheard by the uninitiated. The first key: your accident is someone else's plan. 2. Pain is the alchemy of the soul. The third will force you to reconsider every choice you make. Are you ready to learn how to read the secret writings of fate? When I first learned this from a Zen teacher, he said, "Do you think you are walking on the road? You are the road itself." If these words seem like a mystery to you, don't be in a hurry to close the video, because in 15 minutes, you will see the world as if you had removed the veil from your eyes. And that's not a metaphor. Now, you will hear the story of how a broken vase saved a samurai's life, how a late train ride prevented a war, and how your sadness today can be the seed for tomorrow's miracle. I promise after this video, you'll never say it's just a coincidence again. Let's start with a question a young monk asked his teacher. If everything is predetermined, why meditate? The teacher silently picked up a stone and threw it into the pond. "There has always been a ripple in the water," he said, "but your view of it is your choice. Karma is not an iron cage. It's a canvas where you are the artist. And every step you take leaves a stroke that will echo years from now, or moments from now." Listen to this, a Zen story. A farmer came to the master one day sobbing, "A hurricane has destroyed my crops. What's in it for me?" The master replied, "Wait a year and you'll find out for yourself." A year later, the withered fields became fertile, and the neighbors whose crops survived faced drought. The universe sees beyond our fear. As the Buddha said, "Do not call a flower dead if you see only a fallen petal." You ask, how does this work in my life? Imagine you're late for work because a cat ran across the road. You're angry. But what if that cat saved you from an accident that would have happened 2 minutes later? Zen calls it the invisible thread of cause and effect. And that thread isn't woven over years. It's woven over milliseconds. Even your breath right now is changing the pattern on the canvas of reality. Scientists at MIT have proven a butterfly flapping its wing in Tokyo affects the movement of a bus in Paris 72 hours later. Buddhists would say, that's the law of dependent arising. You're bound to someone you've never met. Your morning anger in traffic can be the cause of someone's smile on another continent. Does that sound like magic? No, it's the math of the soul. Now, for the first clue. Randomness is the language the universe whispers to you. Ancient texts describe the story of a merchant who found a treasure because he got lost. He was asked, "How did you know where to go?" He replied, "I listened to the wind playing with the leaves." You can hear too. Start small. Tomorrow, when something doesn't go according to plan, ask, "What are you trying to tell me?" The answer will come, not with words, but through the heart. In the 15th century, the samurai Tokugawa received a gift of a Ming vase, a priceless masterpiece. But a servant, while cleaning his room, broke it. In fury, Tokugawa drew his sword and froze. On the floor, among the shards, he saw a note. "A traitor among your advisors. Tomorrow you will be killed." The vase saved his life. A Zen master later told him, "You cursed your loss, but the universe has given you a gift. Learn to see the diamond in the ashes." Here's the second key. Pain is a map, not a prison. The Buddha taught that suffering is like dirty water. If you don't touch it, it will muddy up and you will see the bottom. But we stir the water more often than not, crying out, "Why is this happening to me?" What if your pain is your compass? Like the girl who went to the Himalayas after a breakup and found her calling, among the monks who waited 20 years for her. "We saw you in a dream," they said. "It's not a fairy tale. This is the law of cause and effect." Zen monks teach, when you are in pain, become wider. Embrace the world, and the wound becomes a point of light. Remember the story of the mother who lost her child. She came to the Buddha and begged him to come back. "Bring me a mustard seed from the house where there is no death," he said. She went all over the country and realized suffering became her teacher. Now the question is, what has taught you? The third key, your choice is the seed of eternity. The Dhammapada says, "We are what we think. All that we are is born of our thoughts. Every decision you make is like a stone thrown into the ocean. The waves will reach shores you'll never see." Like the guy who once bought coffee for a homeless man, and 10 years later, that man saved his daughter from a fire. It's not coincidence, it's karmic math. One day a monk was sailing on a boat and suddenly another boat hit him. In anger he screamed, but realized that boat was empty. His anger disappeared. Everything that hurts us in this life is just empty boats, said Zhuangzi. Your reaction is where the power lives. When you shout at a traffic jam, you are shouting into the void. But if you say, "I wonder what it saved me from," the world will be your ally. Now let's connect the keys. Randomness is the message. Pain is the teacher. Choice is creativity. Like the woman who hated her job, but one day she missed the bus and met a man who offered her a dream job. "It's fate," she said. It's the law of karma she created by years of visualizing success. Even her tears in her pillow were fertilizer for this moment. Experiment. 7 days of practice. Try this. For 7 days, write down every accident. The bus that left early, the rain that ruined plans, an argument with a coworker, and then ask, "What does this have to do with anything?" And I'll answer like the story of a man who, after this practice, found his missing sister through an accidental repost on social media. The universe speaks to us in the language of events. Learn to listen, and you will become a poet of reality. But what if it's all an illusion? Zen masters answer, yes. But even an illusion can wake you up. Like a dream where you're flying. When you wake up, you cannot fly. But the belief in the possibility remains. It was this belief that made man create the airplane. Your life is a dream that can be changed. Buddha said, "We are the result of what we think about." What are you thinking about now? 1947. A young monk stands on the edge of a cliff. Below is his village which has been burned down. In his hands is a gun. He wants revenge, but he remembers his teacher's words. Violence is the water that puts out the fire and takes life with it. He throws the gun into the abyss. 40 years later, he saves hundreds of children by opening a school on that site. His pain became a bridge. What will you build? Are you still in doubt? Then one last story. In 2011, a Japanese man named Tsutomu Nimura was late for work because he forgot his cell phone. An hour later, his office building collapsed in an earthquake. It's a miracle, people said. But his wife said, no, it's his habit to be thankful every morning for a new day, even for the rush. Gratitude is the language of dialogue with the universe. Start small. Say thank you to your fear. It has come to make you stronger. Now, let's dive deeper into the mystery. Why were the masters silent? Because they knew that words kill wisdom. Like a child who, after learning what a rainbow is, stops seeing it as magic. Zen is not knowledge. It's a state. How do you learn it? Through paradoxes, through unanswered questions, through silence. Koan, dialogue with emptiness. A student asked, "What is the meaning of life?" The teacher hit him with a stick. "Why are you hitting me?" That's the meaning. Do you understand? No? Don't. As long as you're looking for answers, you're missing the point. Like someone looking for his glasses, forgetting they're on his head. Relax. The universe is already leading you. Remember, when you fell in love, you didn't analyze your heartbeat. You just lived. Wisdom is the love of reality. Even dirt, mosquitoes, and betrayals. Like the monk who, when bitten by a snake, said, "Thank you. You reminded me that I'm alive." Practice 3 questions. Every night, ask yourself, 1. What message did I get tonight, even through a broken plate? 2. What did the pain teach me, even if the lesson is just patience? 3. What choice made me closer to myself? In a month, you will see. Your life is a novel where you are both author and hero. And now a secret from the ancient scrolls. There are no accidents. There are only meetings with yourself. Every person, every situation is a mirror. Even the one who hates you shows your hidden shadows. As the Buddha said, enemies are our best teachers. Have you met your enemy today? Thank him. He has come to make you whole. Imagine you are a drop in the ocean. You think you are floating casually, but your path is already leading to the shore you dream of. Zen calls this spontaneous harmony, like the story of the boy who lost a toy in the woods and years later found a treasure in its place. Fate? They asked him. No, he said. I was just going where my tears led me. The parable of the 2 wolves. An old man taught his grandson. There are 2 wolves fighting inside us. One is fear and anger. The other is love and faith. And who will win? The boy asked. The one you feed. Every thought you have is a choice of who to feed, even when you're standing in line berating yourself for being late, or breathing in the air and giving thanks for life. That's what karma is, not a punishment, but a mirror. Do you still think your actions are insignificant? Then listen. In 1963, the monk Thich Nhat Hanh wrote a letter to Martin Luther King. Just a few lines about peace. Those lines stopped the war. Your word, your look, your smile are also weapons of light. As the Buddha said, light one candle and its light will dispel the darkness of the ages. A girl went to a cafe to forget her ex. She accidentally sat down at a table with a stranger. They started talking. A year later, he became her husband. It's fate, her friends say, but she knows it's her choice to go there, not to cry at home. It's her choice to speak up, not to be silent. Destiny is not a road. It's the steps you take even when you're shaking with fear. Remember, when you plant a seed, you don't dig into the ground every 5 minutes to check for growth. You are trusting life is also a garden. Your actions are the seed. Your faith is the water. And the accidents are the sun that knows when to rise. Like the farmer who prayed for rain but forgot to open the floodgates of the canals. Trust, but act. Even the Buddha said, you don't have time to meditate. Meditate twice as much. The teacher asked his disciples, where does the universe live? One said, in space. Another, in the heart. The teacher silently pointed to an ant crawling along the edge of the bowl. The answer is where you stop looking. Your life is already perfect, even if it doesn't feel like it. Now for the brutal truth. You fear that it's all a lie, that suffering is meaningless, that death erases everything. A Zen master would answer, yes, but only if you believe in the end. One of the sutras says, death is a door, but where it leads depends on how you have lived in the house. Tokugawa, saved by a broken vase, asked his teacher, how can I thank the universe? Live so that your gratitude can be seen without words, he replied. The samurai gave away all his possessions and became a monk. His last words, I finally realized that even my sword was a prayer. You think it's difficult? Start small today. When the kettle boils, say, thank you. When you hit yourself, say, what do you want to show me? When you want to give up, remember your tomorrow is waiting for you. One last thing. You don't have to believe. You just have to try. Like someone who didn't believe in gravity, but still didn't jump off a roof. Do an experiment. For a week, live your life as if every event were a gift. Even the pain, even tears. And then see if your sky changes. If you've looked up to this point, you're not the same person you were 20 minutes ago. You are someone who sees the invisible. And now, the choice is yours. Close the tab or hit the red subscribe button and turn this moment into the beginning of a journey. Because tomorrow, when randomness happens, you'll remember this clip. And maybe you'll write in the comments. Today, I realized every word you say here is another lantern on the path for others, and I believe that together we can light the way. Now give me a like if at least once you get goosebumps on your skin. It's not for the algorithm. It's to let me know we speak the same language, the language of the stars, the wind, and the silence between thoughts. And now, a gift, a koan for your heart. If everything happens for a reason, why do you still doubt? Look for the answer not in your mind, but in the next beat of your heart. Thank you for coming this way. You're not a spectator. You're a collaborator. Until we meet again in the silence, where all the answers are born.